Good morning, gang, and welcome to Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are all encouraged to join in these live stream and real world events to share, inspire, and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every single day, and with your help, we've evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on demand shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. Hey, good morning, Amber. How you doing? Um,
I was muted. Good morning.
Great to see you. I am
Good to see
just
you.
reading off these obligatory announcements, so we'll get into it in just a moment. Let me see here if I can't share. Let's see here if I can't share my screen with you all. Yeah, we'll share this one. Right.
There we go.
Cool. So hopefully you're seeing my screen. This is the home screen um, for Reinventing the Tattoo. All right, and you can learn more about Reinventing the Tattoo at reinventingthetattoo.com. Um, you can also you can find the Reinventing the Tattoo app at all the app stores, the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. We also have a Facebook page as well as a Roku channel. Um, you can find more at reinventingthetattoo.com/Roku. You can also find us on all the major podcast directories, such as Apple, Spotify. But no matter where you're watching us, live or on demand, you can always find the latest and greatest here at reinventingthetattoo.com. So I will scroll down to the events calendar. So that way we can show you how to access these live streams. Right, so we have a number of weekly staple shows. Beginning on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have Skill Building Sundays Drawing Group hosted by Jason Leeser. Um, that's followed on Mondays at 9 a.m. Drawing for Tattooers. That's this show. You've made it. Um, Hosted by James Wisdom. At 11 a.m. Mondays, we have the Tattoo Weekly. Um, at 5 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, we have Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripple. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights, we have Reinventing a subscribers exclusive drawing group. So Mondays are a very busy day here at Reinventing the Tattoo. Uh, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have the Tattoo Now show. And on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have a Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast hosted by Fawn Baker. Um, and so, again, you're all encouraged to check out these shows as well as participate. You can always click on these links, click the buttons, and then you can join in the Zoom as well. So, yeah, we'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsors. Let me I'm gonna share a different screen. So, all right, different screen share time. Great. Okay. Right. So, start with Tattoo Now. Tattoo Now is all the latest and greatest in tattoo shop customer relations management. So, come to Tattoo Now and check it out. You can find, um, of course, CRM systems, customer relations management systems, um, email upgrades, mailing list software, as well as it's a treasure trove of a portfolio site, right, where you can host all of your really your really high resolution images. Could be nice for making print, right? If you're going to be in a print publication, or if you want to print out any of your work, this is a great site to host your portfolios. That's tattoonow.com. Ask for Gabe. Um, Of course, we would like to again thank Guy Etchison for being the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can learn more about Guy Etchison at guyetchison.com, where you can find his portfolio of tattoo work, custom prints, as well as coil machines, original oil paintings, and much, much more. So be sure to check out guyetchison.com. Uh, and yeah, you can really see some amazing stuff there. Um, Reinventing the Tattoo is going to be at Hell City. This is Friday, May 19th through Sunday, May 21st. There's going to be at the Reinventing table many, many events. So check them out. And of course, we're going to be doing the show, Drawing for Tattooers, live from Hell City. Love to see you. So please stop by, check it out if you are available. But of course, there's much, much more that we're going to be doing. So really looking forward to Hell City. So I hope you are too. Right. And then, of course, you can learn more about me at my website, tattooingwisdom.com. I have some portfolio here, blog I'm working on, as well as I'm constantly updating this. So please, feel invited to check out the site. Excellent. Yeah. So here we are. We're back. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So great to see you all. How's it going?
Good.
Good morning.
How goes it?
Not all at
Pretty
once.
good.
Can't hear
Good
you.
morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Sound
I'll
check.
start the
Amber, are you
wave.
there?
We're all waking up.
Yeah.
I think I can hear you now. I was having technical difficulties on my end. So
How'd the appointment go, Henry?
Which one?
Didn't you have like an appointment or something you had to go to with the wife last week?
Oh yeah. You were calling me about my government now. I was just like, whoa, how far back do we
Because
go, Kyle?
it's on the
Oh
screen.
shit.
Oh, okay, cool. No, it went great. Yeah, no, it went great. We got a chance to see the baby. It was an ultrasound. We got a chance to see her little face. And we got a chance to see that her lips look like my lips. And yeah, everything's great. Thanks so much for asking.
That's cool. That's exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
How long till she's due?
She's due June the 8th. But she's probably gonna induce early because she's over being pregnant. She's just like, all right, I had my fun.
I
It's
know
time.
that
It's time.
feeling.
Yeah. She's had her. We did baby shoots last night. You know what I mean, for the pictures and stuff. And that came out really nice. So she like put flowers in her hair and stuff. She really did it up for the baby. So we're excited about that. But yeah, we ready. We ready just to see this little girl.
That's
Kiss
awesome.
her all up on her face. Mm-hmm.
well, congratulations again. It's that's such great news.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm glad to hear that it's
I'm very
it's
glad
going
for
well
you.
with you
I'm
all.
also very glad it's not me. I was one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what wonderful news to start the day. Start the week. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, any big projects on the horizon for anybody? Anybody working on anything particular that you're super proud of, struggling with, any of that?
Struggling. Something struggling with, super proud of, excited, terrified, all that good stuff.
I think that's why we're here. I'm just
All of that.
same.
All of the above.
At the shop, I'm practicing script on fake skins. And my mentor is like perfect at any kind of font. His lettering is just beautiful.
What's
And
his name?
What was that?
What's his name?
Rob Perez.
Uh, is he on Instagram or anything?
Yes. I think it's Rob Perez Art.
Let's see here. Perhaps.
If you look up
Check
luxury
it out.
tattoos, New Jersey, he's under that.
All right, I'm gonna look it up and try to find.
Oh, it's Rob Perez Inc., not Rob Perez Art.
All one word?
Yes, all one word, Rob Perez Inc. That's my mentor. My daughter just looked it up for me so I could get it right.
Mhm.
I appreciate that.
You got it wrong. You're being told.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he happens to watch this and I got it wrong, I'd be in trouble.
Is this him?
Yep, that's him.
Cool. Let's check out the
God
work. I was
damn.
just looking at it. It's very, very nice work.
Yes, his
Mhm.
black and gray work is amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
Ooh.
very, very beautiful.
Mm.
So he's your mentor? He's teaching you how to tattoo and stuff?
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's excellent.
And
So
he's
what,
so good at script. I get in my own head about it when I'm doing it on the fake skins because I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm just screwing it up when he's watching me because I get nervous.
look at that. So peppery. Beautiful.
Oh, I know. Isn't that soft and beautiful?
I'm in love.
Do you know, does he use coil machines or does he use
He used rotary.
rotaries?
Mm.
What's that?
Yeah, he uses rotary.
Cool.
He started on coils like me, though.
Yeah. A lot of us did. Yeah, very nice. All right, so here's
Oh yeah.
some lettering and stuff.
Yeah, his lettering is so good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, I think it's excellent to have, really really great mentors in your life and somebody that's
Look
gonna.
at that.
Which one? Which one do I want to see?
That one that you just highlighted.
Artist?
TARDIS?
TARDIS, yeah. Ooh, it's a
I know.
woven
Yeah.
TARDIS. Oh my god.
So it's a
Watercolor
TARDIS
stitches
patch
all in
with
one.
watercolor
That
TARDIS
is
patch. That's awesome.
bananas.
That's one of
He
my
said that's his
favorites
first
he's done.
attempt.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really interesting to look at, and just it's really well done. Yeah, beautiful.
That's bananas.
Well, I really enjoy highlighting beautiful tattoos. Here, getting a chance to sort of, I don't know, learn about somebody new that I didn't know or
Mhm.
before. I think that's also it's a part of the privilege.
Mhm.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, just the really clean lettering, and
Yeah.
I think it can be. It's a little bit of a challenge to sort of to do this vertical thing on the spine, like it's like where exactly is the baseline, right? Where exactly
Yeah.
do we put it so it looks it's a balance. I feel like, you know what I mean. You have to balance the particular lettering, like so it looks um, aesthetically pleasing, right? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
it's
think he placed that stencil like 3 times before he got it where he wanted it.
Mm, I know that's
yeah.
right. The photography is so. Do you guys have a photography booth or like an area for photography?
Yes, we have a spot set up that's specifically for photography.
Hmm. Okay.
That's a great idea.
Mhm.
I think the better that you can document it, right? I don't know, you're giving the work the respect it deserves, and plus you're helping others like really get a sense of what it is that you're capable of.
Yeah.
So it really is important. Yeah, fine line stuff, a
Oh,
lot.
oh
Yeah, just
my
a lot. Which
God.
one? This one?
Yeah. Oh my God. Look at that.
Oh, I know that came out so well.
How long did that take him? How many sessions do you know?
He's quick. It was 2 sessions, I believe.
Oh, that's the first session.
But he's such a quick tattooer.
Yeah, decisive.
Yeah, I'm slow
Yeah,
as
that's
hell.
beautiful.
He's so quick.
Excellent.
God, that's gorgeous. Amber, good. You are
I'm
so.
learning from the right guy, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Wow, you are lucky. Blessed, lucky, favor, all of that stuff.
And
So
the
you,
other owner of the shop is just as good.
oh yeah,
Between the two of them, I can't lose.
Uh-uh.
you should check him out. What's his name?
Hey, Tessa, can you look up Javi?
I'm going.
There's no way I can remember Javi's off the top of my head. It's
All right.
weird letters. But
We have
Tessa's
to.
looking them up real quick.
All right. Well,
Look very
my tabs. Um, so,
Okay. It's,
already?
yes,
Okay.
JMDS _Inc. The Salvador Dali one, yeah. That's Javi.
Mm.
Worth it. Yeah, worth the wait. Let's check out some of these.
Oh,
So
yeah, he's
Mm.
phenomenal.
this Jesus and the reveal.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
nice.
She's not even done yet.
He did just profit stitch dresses.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely the Son of God.
Yes.
It's definitely him in the flesh.
Let's see here. Let's check out this portrait. So this is
Oh
an
my
interesting
God, what's
take,
really
right?
going on?
So
Like
that's
a
just
Yeah, half of it is the photo and half of it is the tattoo.
here's the tattoo, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Awesome reveal.
mhm.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like the
nice.
grape ones. They're cool.
Yeah, I like those. Those are cool. I like how, I wonder how they get placed on there correctly. How they
Oh, he
decide.
placed that thing on there like 4 times before it lined up.
Trial and error, right? That's the
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, Instagram versus reality, right? So oh look at this check out this tiger.
Oh my God. I don't
Rad.
know how do they do this stuff? Like it's mind boggling.
He makes it look effortless. He literally makes it look like he's not even thinking about what he's doing.
He's probably thinking about what he's gonna have for dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at that. Cast shadow. Nice.
Mhm.
I guess what it is it's just repetition. It's
Yeah,
making it
you
look
keep
effortless
telling me it's
because
all muscle memory.
yeah, at some point in his life he was really, really working really hard and really, really trying. But now he just
He
knows how to do
started out
stuff.
in Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Yeah,
well
with
done.
the two of them teaching me how to tattoo, I can't go wrong.
Mm-mm.
Well, you got to work really hard. I mean, I think we all do, but it's again, you've got some really outstanding mentors here, really dedicated, obviously, and the work is very cool. Here's another tiger. I'm just like, where are tigers
Mm.
today?
Mm.
Yeah, this is nice too. It's like the biggest shape I think you could have for this area.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean? Like,
hands aren't easy.
certainly not. Certainly offer its own set of challenges. Um,
Amber, is this type of style that you want to do?
I mean, yes, it is one of the styles I want to do.
That's
I
cool.
don't necessarily want to be pigeonholed into one style because
Mm-hmm.
my style is kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, well, yeah, I
Look at
feel
that.
like um, it can be really productive, right? To sort of to end up picking something that you really want to do, but that's probably it has to be a process. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
really like
I'm sure I'll just find something that I excel at more than others. And that'll wind up being my style. Just something that flows more freely than the others.
mm,
Yeah, Hobby's portrait work is insane.
awesome. Cool. Well, I that was thank you for sharing that, Amber. Really, it's great
Yeah.
to learn more about where you're at, and
I
you know
love being surrounded by such great artists.
no, it's really, yeah, like Spirit said, it's very really fortunate, um, and that's great. No, it's again, I think uh, you you want to surround yourself with excellence, right? I think
Yes.
that's really going to be, it's important, right? And to recognize, like what others contribute to your community, I think is also, that's probably equal in that. You know what I mean? Everybody has
Mhm.
something to offer, and so um, it can be really important. So yeah, excellent. Thank you, Amber.
You're welcome.
Uh, open floor. Who's got some work they want to share? Any thoughts? I've got some stuff that I wanted to, I was going to go over some drawing exercises because I like to do. But I figured we could talk now, and um, again, I want to like, open up the conversation to you all, please.
You want to see the biggest project I've ever worked on?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Switch over.
Uh, I think I let you share. Yeah, if you want to share screen.
Oh,
Oh, spotlight. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how to do that. I've always just done the OBS thing. Oh, okay, there it is. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You did really well. It's excellent. Wow.
Holy shit, that's good.
He had somebody in China draw it, and he's having me tattoo it on him.
What an honor.
Yeah, it's such a fucking undertaking. It's insane. It's
Uh-huh.
so stressful. It's just bonkers. We've
The
gotten
detail in that is
the
crazy.
we got the mask done. Whoops. Yeah, we got the mask done. The Fujin and Raijin, they got well outlined. And then we've got this part of the snake and the flower outlined. And today we're working on the snake. And then tomorrow, if we should be able to get that all done, probably work on like the first half. Because this sucker's like from the nape of his neck to the back of his knee. It's just, whew.
Now that is a back piece.
Yeah, it's bonkers. It's so stressful.
That's dope. Stuff as shit. How are you going to differentiate between the different shapes, like the different like main shapes, the snake, the mask? I'm not certain what that is on the left side of the snake. It's a dragon. Okay, yeah, the dragon. How are you gonna do the separation between those forms?
So as far as I know, because I've only gotten the line work, he has the shading and everything like that. But from what I remember is that like the mask, Fujin, Raijin, the snake, and the dragon, they're shaded a lot darker. And they're a lot darker in that, and then the background's going to be a lot lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember exactly if we're coloring in the flowers or not. I don't think so, because if I remember correctly, he just wants to stick with black and gray. But yeah, just like the foreground dark, background light type of thing.
Do you use opaque grays?
I have. I've been messing around with a lot with the whitewash grays.
Oh wow. Okay.
I like how like the lighters, they have a lot more like grayer tone to them, so you can see like the value a lot quicker. But with the whitewash, it seems like after it heals a lot lighter than just like a gray wash would. It almost seems like there's been a couple tattoos to where I put it in and it looks dark, and then it comes back healed and it's like light. It's too light, so it's like okay. So I definitely use the medium tone a lot more, and then like extra light is super super light, and light is light, so it sticks to what it's called. So that's for sure. But yeah, like the opaque grays, I don't use them too often when it's needed, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is awesome.
Well, I think it's so important, right, to challenge yourself and to do, take on these projects that are going to be, like you said, it's going to be stressful. It's funny. It's sort of like, you get done with it. This is how I feel. Like I get done with projects and I'm always like, there's always this letdown, like, I wish, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. And it's sort of like, it's kind of like that, that disappointment is like, if you can enjoy that part, it kind of spurs you on to the next thing.
How do you learn to enjoy that part?
I'm working on it, but
You try to keep reminding yourself of the results.
Okay.
I remind myself of the process, that it is that stressful process, that it's sort of like, it feels like you're dying. That's the part that you love, you know what I mean? That you love that process, that it's in that where you find that's the perfect bit, right? Is all of the failing and sort of revisiting and trying again and all that. And then again, it's interesting. It's like it's never completed, because it's like you're gonna do another one. It's like sports, right? Like after the championship, right? That's not the last game. It's the beginning of the next season, right? So same sort of thing for us till you die, right? When you die, that's probably it. But it's we really I feel like so often it's like you get involved in some sort of like project, and it's stressful, and a desire to be done, but it's like no, the part that is so the magical part is the doing, right? Is the struggling through that part. And so yeah, I don't know how to enjoy it exactly, but that's the but I feel like that's probably the thing. You know what I mean? That you got to work towards is understanding and embracing that. You know, again, that uncertainty, that sort of like it's painful.
Yeah, and another thing is, and just aside from that, one of the things that I learned just adulting is that doing hard things, even things that are emotionally difficult, tend to yield positive results. Like for example, I'm just gonna this moment of transparency, honesty, or whatever. So I was doing this tattoo the other day. It was a Michael Myers piece. And, the client wasn't complete. It was as far as like, because we work on an hourly basis, hourly rate. Um, and so the end result is the client expected the tattoo to be finished, but I couldn't finish it in the time that she had allotted. And she just, expected more from it. And I learned that if I'm not the problem, then there's no solution. So it's like, so basically what I did is I just kind of changed up some things on my end just so that like a client won't necessarily have that problem in the future. And I guess I just say that to say that like I was struggling with that tattoo. I was just like, oh my God, this is the worst tattoo in the world. Oh my God, like, you know, everybody's gonna see this and then my career is gonna be over and all this and the third, so and yeah, and the client was not satisfied with it. On top of that, you know what I mean? And so that's a double whammy. So I'm just learning from that, and I'm here right now, and I'm working on a tattoo, which I don't do that. I used to do tattoos right in front of the client the day of. You know what I'm saying? But I was talking to my boss, the owner of the shop, and he was just saying, no, you probably want to go ahead and start maybe working steadily before, and so you can work out the problems and stop trying to wing stuff. And I will say that most of the tattoos that came out that I'm really, really proud of, I did that with. Not the Oni mask or the geisha girl, but still. So if I just imagine that I use a lot of the stuff that I've been learning in this class and in the Reinventing the Tattoo course, and just go ahead and just grind it out, you know what I'm saying? Just learn from my mistakes and just, get better. So yeah, that's it.
That's real, and that's thank you for sharing that. I feel the same way that um, I guess you always probably feel like you could do more, but again, I feel that's like constructive criticism that we all need to have. As long as it doesn't stop you, right? As long as it's this thing that's you know uh, it'll never be enough, but you still want to strive to you know to give your best. And I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, if that's really what you're trying to do, you know, that you keep in mind, sort of like you keep in mind that it'll never be enough, but you're still going to do it anyway. And
yeah, that's
I
real.
think that's where you can actually grow. I mean, again, I'm working on it. Just it's because that'd be the thing. It'd be like you'd always want to do that. You'd always want to sort of look critically at what you're doing, right? Even and imagine that's a lot of times the people that we admire, they have the same struggles. They're thinking about the same things. There's all this doubt. There's all this sort of revisiting and trying to do better next time, right? Comparing yourself to others, it doesn't really work.
Just compare yourself to you the day before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I think that's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. But
Oh, I
it's
know.
yeah. But
And then sometimes I'll be like, I was better before.
It's not progressive. You know what I mean? It's just it's a process. That's what I feel like. I feel like it's it's always you know that's how it goes. It has to be.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and it's not lateral. You know what I'm saying? It's it's
yeah, and you see things differently too. You know what I mean? You're like you as you gain experience and stuff, you're gonna see things in a new light, and that's always um, can always be sort of educational, I suppose. Um, but I think that again, if like there has to be this difference between like sort of having confidence, having like a again positivizing this negativity as opposed to an arrogance, right? Just like and it's got to be something that like constantly work with. Um, I know that I do. It's I don't want don't want to have this false sense. I want to try to learn the truth. Interested in that, and so
Mhm.
and again, it would be this process I think of um, you know looking at everything as critically as you can, right? Getting feedback and having a community. I think that's that's how you that's really how I believe that's gonna yield
It's
some
part of a
results.
healthy support system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, well, so I actually well, I'll share. I'm working on a thing for our Monday night class, and
Oh yeah, your duck.
show I'll show it.
I always like checking out your drawings, James.
Thank you.
Drawings are so cool. Every week,
Mhm.
they're so cool.
I appreciate that. I really do. Okay, so here's my
Oh, nice.
Mandarin duck, and so um, that's the theme as we're coming up with this this Mandarin duck and trying to imagine it as a cool tattoo. Um, Let me see if I can. I'll play through the design and stuff. Right. So yeah, there. So yeah, the thumbnail process that we do in our in our class at the Reinventing Subscribers group. Um, Personally, I find it as as super valuable exercise that I bring into my my everyday tattoo practice, and it's been very beneficial. I think sometimes I'll do some of this with a customer, and then sometimes I'll well I do force myself to do it, right? So if I'm going to design something for somebody, what I want to do is I want to try to take it through the thumbnail process first, compose it, think about stuff. I wasn't pleased with these feet, so I worked on them for a little while. They were tough.
Mhm.
But I looked at a reference. I found a reference that was sort of similar, and it's funny. It's a bird, so I was thinking, it's almost like eagle talons, but
Mhm.
but a duck.
It looked like the first ones were a little bit more human-like. You know what I mean? Like
I,
that's kind of how a human would take off almost.
right. I think that was sort of what I had in mind was sort of I'm thinking about this as like a maybe like a phoenix sort of theme. I may like put in
Mm-hmm.
some fire or I don't know, I might go water or something like that. But yeah, no spirit. I think that's totally what I had in mind was like a human leg, but that was so. It was just something about it. Just it wasn't. Just didn't work. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
because it's funny, like uh, so like the ducks. leg. Let's see if I can. I don't know. I have like a really good example. Zoom in real tight here. It's like those are the toes, right? Where the web is and stuff. Those are toes, and then that's its. The heel is up. The heel's up there underneath the feathers. It's like the heel's up here, and
Oh
then the
wow.
knee, and then and then it's thigh bone, and then the pelvis, right? So that would be the anatomy of that leg, of this the bird's leg is so it's hip, right, and then it's femur bone, and then like it's tibia and fibula, and then of course then it's like that's heel, foot, and then toe. Like that'd be the way that goes. So when I like the way I had it earlier, I don't know if I have a yeah, I do have a version. Yeah, that was my first version. It's more like this human, sort of anthropomorphized leg, but wasn't considering how the knee functioned and that sort of a thing. It's almost like treating this, almost like you know, treating this area like a knee or something like that, and right here, like that spot, like a knee, and that's not. It's an ankle. But that's the ankle of this
Mm.
particular in this creature. You know what I mean? So, anyways, it was it's been a fun project. I still have a little bit of work to do, but again, I really can't like express enough gratitude for the group, and then like sort of like kind of making um, holding us all accountable to like getting these designs done. I've been trying to do something similar with my colleagues at the shop. I've been drawing Flash every Friday. The hope is that we're going to collaborate together and make some pages of Flash out of all of our work and stuff. But it's nice. We get together, we critique it, and I think it's great community exercise. It's stressful. It
Mm.
is stressful. Make sure that you have your drawings done for and like nobody's perfect, so it can it can go sideways at times, but yeah, yeah. So there's my my duck.
It's awesome, man. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
sharing
Yeah,
that. That's cool.
I
Appreciate that.
really need an iPad.
You should. Oh, Amber. Oh,
I'm saving up for it. I gotta save for it. I can't just go out and buy one.
That's
yeah,
good.
no,
I
No,
that's
that's
gotta
awesome.
save for it.
pay for it.
Yeah, and I think that you're definitely doing a good thing by just waiting. You know what I mean, and getting the tattoo information first. And you're doing it the right way.
I so this it's all from one-sidedness, but I feel like there's so much more that I can understand in terms of working digitally because I worked analog for so many years.
Yeah,
Like
Mm-hmm.
basically like tracing paper. Like
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
like working on tracing paper for years and years and decades, and then it's like
uh,
then you go and like oh there you start using layers and stuff, and you really start to associate the two things as the same thing. Um, but there's so much more capacity, in terms of what you can do with uh, with these layers and all the masking and stuff like that. I mean, again, it's sort of whether you've ever done any airbrushing or any sorts
yeah,
of other laying down frisket or resist if you're painting like watercolor and stuff. There's all kinds of uh, it's all a reference to analog, right? There's all
yeah,
these tools are just
Mm-hmm.
sort of an extension of what you could do if you're working with a traditional medium. And so
Just imagine we had to, in order to make like one thing bigger on the piece, we had to put this shit on the copier and then trace it in again.
uh-huh.
Oh,
well, that's interesting you said that. I think it was I heard Philip Liu talking about when he first started that like he didn't have a copier, so somebody would he'd draw a design and somebody would say could I get that 10% smaller, So we draw a grid, draw 2 grids and then like grid it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I
that's
was
how you do
doing
it.
when I was doing
That's how it
underground
was done.
tattoos. I
Yeah.
just wanted a little smaller, so I would have to draw the whole thing again.
Right. There's something that's valuable. It's so fast now. You can just, it's inefficient to do it that way, but
Mhm.
you might gain something, right, by doing that a few times.
Yeah, you gain the muscle memory.
Mhm.
Yeah, insight as well, right? There might be some other sorts of things you don't know that you're getting that you get, and so I think those are, I think that can be really, really important. So, well, I thank you all for checking that out. I uh, now figured I would talk about some
Oh, I
drawing
wanted to show
exercises
something
that
really
I.
quickly, if you
Uh,
don't mind.
what's that?
I wanted to show what I was working on, if you don't mind.
I want to see it. So let's
All right.
let me spotlight you.
All
Can
right.
you
Let me put
share
all these.
can you share your screen with us?
I could possibly share. I'd have to log into the Zoom on my iPad. I can, yeah. Give me just a second.
So give this a well if you'd like. You can give it a try if you don't want to, you don't have to, but if are you on your phone on
Yeah,
Zoom?
this is my phone, and then this is
Do you have a share
this is my
screen
iPad.
button that you can click? Is it on there? It may let you. If not, if it
Yeah, I
seems
have
like
a share
it's not,
screen button.
there is one.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an option that said, share iPad via AirPlay?
There is not.
Okay,
All
no worries then. Um,
right, cool.
so yeah, if you want to just hold up what you got, I'll spotlight it.
All right. Just a second. All right. Because I want to show my thumbnail first.
Excellent.
All right, sweet. Okay. All
Okay.
right. So this is going on the hip. It's kind of the hippish slash side. What is this thing? Here we go. All right. So this is my thumbnail.
Awesome.
Little smiley face here, flower, sunflower, and a little something here. But this is what it's going to be.
Cool.
Ooh,
So what I'm kind of worried about, not worried about, what I'm currently thinking about is at one point all of these items were closer together and there was no breathing room between them. But I kind of spread it out just a little bit. And what I want to do is just kind of put some negative space, in the air, like, just kind of like wind or just kind of like some filigree negative space just to kind of tie it all together. And that's kind of where I'm at with it now.
That looks like a lot of fun.
yes,
Oh,
it does.
thank you.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Thank
Well,
you. Thanks,
have
man.
did you try overlaying your thumbnail, especially now, since you have it digitally, like your thumbnail, like, yeah, on top of it. Um,
Yeah, because I definitely put some of the wispy stuff in there, in the thumbnail. So I could definitely use that actually. What is it? So maybe this, yeah, I guess I could do
Mhm.
that. Have something back here. All right, yeah, I'm totally gonna I'm gonna actually totally gonna use that. That's gonna help to solve that problem.
Well, I think you know, having the breathing space is a really I think that's going to be really important. But then
Thank you. Because let me
also,
show you kind of how it looked at one. Yeah, here it is.
okay,
Is this it? Yeah. Well, this is just kind of the almost rendering, and if you could kind of see how it does kind of need some breathing space,
Mhm.
you know. So then we're going from this to this.
hmm
Yeah, and she's kind of darker skin, so
Mhm.
I'm really working on just using larger shapes and opening up my tattoos. I find that I just really like that look, just because that's one of the things it talks about in the Gayatrism course, just using larger shapes,
Mhm.
um, and that's kind of what I'm trying to go for here.
Mhm. Yeah, it's difficult sometimes trying to relate like exactly what size the part of the entire composition needs to be in like relation to everything else, and then also make sure that it has the breathing room so it's like the legibility is easier, and it's just like onion after onion after onion of like, yeah,
Right.
it's hard. It is definitely hard to try to navigate all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
So that's
it's
where I'm at
beautiful
with
looking.
it.
I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's excellent. It's gonna make a fantastic tattoo. And the fact that you're still not satisfied is like, I think that's right. And I think that's good. That's really good. That you're gonna keep pushing it, and again, it's gonna be this process, right? But the thumbnail, I think it's really valuable for you. You know what I mean? As far as like now you've got this way to sort of compose elements, and and you're again, you have pretty set like references for the face, the flowers, the cat head, but you can really sort of play around with like how they relate to one another. Um,
Hmm.
maybe so you're thinking about bigger shapes. I think that's awesome. Maybe you could try making the cat head much bigger. See what that does. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
try making the like just giving some some different like uh, um, make a variety of different sizes.
Hmm.
That's something that is I struggle with it. I'll draw something up and I'll look at it and be like everything's the same size. Da, 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 it's like and not saying that that's
Yeah.
what you have going on, but giving it even more intentional variety. I think is something that like it really is. I always enjoy like when I listen to that advice personally. When I listen to that advice,
Hmm.
I do it give everything different sizes and stuff. It just adds so much more interest. Adds so much more sort of contrast.
Mm.
It's a contrast thing,
Hmm.
because we talk about value. Tonal value is that's contrast, and then there's color temperature, that's contrast, and then there's textures and stuff, that's contrast. But so are different shapes and sizes as well. It's it really
Hmm.
it helps us to, like Kyle said, legibility, and it's I think I struggle with it personally. It's something that I'm always interested in working on. So,
Hmm.
but it's awesome. Um, and and two, I think you may end up finding like you may put in a lot of effort in getting this drawing ready. And then when it comes time, day time, the day to do it, you might sort of call an audible and be like, all right, now I'm gonna move this over here and move that over there. You know what I mean? You might like totally
Hmm.
create on the spot like you do, but you've got all of this extra, you've got all this homework that you've been doing, and it's just going to add to it. It's going to add to your
Hmm.
capacity to you know. It's not so much winging it. It's more like improvisation,
Mm.
right? What's improvisation, right? Improvisation is the most practiced thing. You think like improvisation is like sort of like magically like, oh, it's just coming out of nowhere. It's like, no, it's like the most practiced thing,
Mhm.
right? It's like practice, 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 and then you can finally improvise.
Mhm.
And it looks like winging it, but it's not.
Mm.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah, see
I think
that.
it's really awesome work. Everybody's
Mhm.
everybody's everybody's doing really cool shit. So
Mhm.
you know, really
Wouldn't
glad.
be able to do it without you, James. I want you to know that.
Shush, no way, man. No, this is the thing. It's
100%.
like we're of course we're like, we're supporting each other, but I again, I'm inspired to like to keep coming back. You all are like a super big part of it. Um, I love this identity of teaching, but I think that's probably what I'm really starting to learn is that to really be a teacher, you always have to be a student. Always, it's like
Mhm.
you always have to be and willing to share the space a bit. I think that's also um, that's the way that you can sort of learn from others. So, um, but I'm really grateful for everybody for coming today. It really is it's been a blast. Um, well, I had some stuff, but I'll save it. So there's something to do next week. This was really again so great to see what everybody's working on, to just have a great conversation.
Mhm.
Uh, what? Okay, hold on. I just got an important text message from the home office.
Oh no.
Leadership.
Mhm.
Priority. Intentional shape sizes is exactly yet. Priority is what? Yeah. Priority one, two, three. Yeah. So thank you, Gabe. So Gabe just wanted to mention to emphasize this point of our conversation, right? That adding priority is uh, um, is so important to our compositions, artwork, tattoos, life in general, right? Um, and that's again, it's like through the size of the shapes that you are, that you're depicting. Again, it helps with the priority. It helps with the communication, because ultimately, you know, the visual art is expressive. It's there's a language to it, but it's we're trying to convey something. I'm positive that we are. We're always trying to convey something, and so priority, reserve, these are all like really I think basic categories that Guy Etchison talks about in his books. And so yeah, I'm so glad that we were able to sort of have these really important talks. And so I want to encourage everybody else out there, if you're watching us, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Um, and we'd love to have you on. So feel free to go to reinventingthetattoo.com, click some of the buttons, and join us in our live
Are we
We'll
about to
stream.
never
sign off?
What's that?
Are we about to sign off? Because I got a question about priority.
Yeah, we can, not in any hurry, so
Okay, sweet.
we can tarry
My
a little
my
while
dog
longer.
just had a little accident. I got to clean that up while I talk. But so okay, that's one of the things that I've been kind of struggling with is like, because I used to think that like that. Let's just say my piece that I'm working on. I would think that the eyes of the woman are the most important, but now I'm thinking that it's the woman's face and the lion as well, And so I'll put the flowers in the backdrop. So, what are some maybe things that we can do to decide what is given priority?
So again, these are Guy Aitchison goes into a lot of detail in his chapters on priority and reserve.
Oh.
But particularly the amount of focus, right? Clarity that you give to focal points, right? So you want the eyes
Mhm.
to become this focal point. Um, taking a step back away from the composition, sort of seeing like, are the eyes the focal point, right? Is
Mhm.
that, or compositionally have you drawn the viewer to this part that you want them to see? Um, so you can also emphasize through tonal value, right? Giving something like,
Mhm.
the greatest range of tonal value can also help, right? So you have the brightest highlights and the darkest shadows and stuff. That can really help to emphasize um, the greatest range, right? It doesn't mean it has to be like, uh, like you could have darker things in the background, right? Or you could have darker
Mhm.
things in the foreground, but you want to sort of separate, you know, um, the the pos neg relationship, right? You want to make sure create a layer. You want to make sure that you have one has the darkest, right, and one has the lightest. But there's going to be a range, right? There's always this range of like, you know, brightest bright to the darkest, range that you have. That I think
Mhm.
lends a bit of priority. A perimeter outline or a contour outline around something, that also can bring a lot of emphasis and priority. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
so, for example, like let's say that you keep the flowers very light. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let's say that you use all that flow that you were talking about. You break up some of more of the flowers, right? That way.
Mhm.
Um, that could help to reserve those, make them more of an element rather than the focal point.
I see. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Make
And
sense?
so, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense um, because then that way I decide what is given priority, and then I decide what I want the viewer to see when they look at it. That's what I have to think about.
Right.
Okay.
Having things in like that are really crisp in focus versus something that has a sort of a softer edge, right? So we talked about this before, of course, is like, do you have a line or do you have an edge, right? And so, and the crispness of that, let's say you're going to do something, no, let's say you're going to do this with no outlines. You might have a
Mm-hmm.
very crisp sort of edge quality, right? So you can still have sharp edges. That's going to help. It's going to draw the eye. If the edge is sort of soft, you know what I mean? It's sort of there's almost a gradient there rather than a real firm transition. That's going to help. That's going to deprioritize, push things into, the periphery, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And so much more there. But I think too, like it's likely that your focal point is going to be within the composition, not at the edges. Does that make sense? Right? Like sort of
Yeah.
it's held within composition, and things are sort of pointing to it. Um, I think that's always something that like um, I find helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of you're framing things in, excluding other things, and then you're emphasizing, giving priority to
Mm-hmm.
to to the focal points. Right? There's a focal point. The woman's face for sure. Perhaps the cat head in there could also be a secondary focal point, right? But I think the way you have it as a hierarchy, um, it's like it feels like the woman's face is more of the intentional, like sort of primary focus of the
Right.
piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would say
But
so.
I know we see this sort of I've seen this quite a bit in tattoos. Like it'll be a face and it's wearing like like an animal head on top of it or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, but clearly the face is the focal point of that composition. So even though it's like animal head on top, in those cases, um, I think more priority is given to the face. There's more crispness. There's more sort of rendering and detail and stuff, sharper outlines, if you will. That put us there inside of the with the intended focal point. So I don't know. I think it's always going to be contingent on whatever it is you're working on. But again, I've found a lot of insight and a lot of uh, I think a lot of guidance from the chapters on priority and reserve in the Reinventing book. So I think it's
okay.
sick.
I'll make sure to go over that then.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it. I think it's good for anybody at any stage. You know what I mean? Because a lot of it is a lot of it is fundamental. There's some really advanced things too, but it's presented in a way that's accessible and also is cool. Presented in a way that's accessible, and I think it's also very it's applicable to your work right away. You know what I mean? You can really apply all this stuff right to your work, and I think for me, one of the things that's helped out the most is the pos neg sort of like understanding. It's always something that I'm like, I've always struggled with it. It's like I think, and what I've sort of narrowed it down to is that when I'm rendering stuff, I get like really focused on that thing, like that part that I'm rendering, right? And I'm like, and I just want to render it like, as fully as I can. But keeping a good relationship between like, this is the most priority. It has the most value or something like that. Or just really keeping that very basic pos neg relationship in mind is so helpful. I think it's so helpful. Take a step back. Notice this is going to be, this is going to be the range of darkest darks, right? This is going to be the range of sort of the the greatest range of positive and negative. We're speaking abstractly, but I'm just saying that like if I take a step back, this is something that Kyle was talking about I think last week about taking a step back and really getting a better perspective. It can really be will be valuable for all of us, and a great metaphor for living. So, but yeah, I am. I don't know. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to do my drawing.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
This was good.
Yeah, this was really good. I'm really again, I'm really grateful for everybody for coming. Let's see.
I have a new abstract piece I wouldn't mind sharing real quick.
Please, Amber, let's see it. Don't be bashful. Let me. I want to spotlight this so we can all check it out. Neat.
I don't know if it's in the front.
What are you using for it? Are those like color pencils or?
Actually, it's alcohol markers and alcohol pens.
Okay, cool.
Really cool. I really, really like your choice of colors.
Thank you.
For real.
I like how it's darker on the outside, and then once you get closer to the center, it's like a lot brighter. That's so cool.
Yeah, I wanted to show depth, like a hole going down into the center. Because if you look down, it's still right there.
Yeah, you did that. That's awesome. That's so cool.
I've been really into abstract stuff lately, which has never been my thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's your thing, so.
It's my thing now.
It really is. That's beautiful work, and I'm so grateful that you shared it. I mean, like, I have a colleague that does this really interesting sort of, it's like cubist sort of take on traditional, like mainly like traditional American stuff, but all kinds of traditional tattoos. And so there's something that's like it's again, it's abstract. It has this sort of thing. So I could really see that work really directly translating into tattoos. there's an
Cool.
audience for it. There certainly is. And so, but again, it's like there's like tattooing is of course an application. I
Yes.
think how we apply it is there are best practices. Not to say that there's some right way, wrong way, sort of a thing, but there are always best practices that we can adopt that can help us like apply our tattoos in a more efficient way. Um, you know, that's healthy. That's going to be again like have longevity. Um, and a part of that too, I think, it does come down to some basic visual sort of principles,
Yeah.
positive, negative, right? Like, you know, if it's all dark, if there's black ink everywhere, it's like it gets really flat. Um,
Yes.
so I don't know. I think there's again. Then I just sort of like my mind went to sort of like blackout tattoos. I was like, well, that's kind of like that seems to be that was something that like was when I first started tattooing. It was fairly uncommon, and now it seems to be more and more common. But I've been really into like like people working on top of like there's whole areas blacked out, and then you work new stuff into it. You all like that stuff too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Robbie does a lot of that.
Okay.
you don't even worry about it being a cover up. You just put it on top of it and just go.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's like so tattoo ink is all it's all translucent. It's not opaque. So even it's like it's very difficult to get that real even. It for something to look solid, it basically has to be even. If it's darker anywhere, it's like it looks spotty. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It just does. So it's really difficult to get that very even sort of application. Probably varies from individual to individual, artist and client. But what's nice is like, you put fresh black ink lines and stuff on like an area that's been all covered in black and it's darker, right? You can actually do those lines. You can actually add some of those, you can actually add some of those colors and I don't know. I did a cover up this weekend and what we ended up doing was we covered up a name with a flower. And so we, sort of, I put the edges of the flower around this name and then the edges of the flower ended up getting really bold and thick. So that way it was sort of like integrate the lettering into this flower. And it turned out really nice. It covered it up really well. But we probably wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the fact it was a cover up.
Yeah.
So I really believe there's always this sort of um, possibility, with a cover up that you might come up with something that's, it might be even, better than you would have had otherwise. It's always there. Like, that old tattoo is still there. And in the right light, you might see the scar of it sort of emerge out like that, like it always happens. You know what I mean? It's always
Right.
there. It's a
Yeah.
part of it. It doesn't go
Mhm.
away, but you take that and you turn that into fuel. You know what I mean? Take that stuff. Immediately after doing covering up a name, I did another name on somebody else. So so we'll keep the cycle going.
The
You
circle
know.
of life.
So I don't know. Yeah, I gotta love it. But
As
yeah,
long as people get names put on their bodies, we'll have money in cover-ups.
Yeah.
they'll never stop. They never will. But that's um, why, why stop? I covered up a name on a guy at a client, a couple weeks ago, and he was covering up a name, and I asked him, like, are you ever going to get another one, another name? He's like, I might. I might. People do that, it's like at the time it was meaningful, it was important, Now I'm covering this one up and probably do it again.
Hmm.
So no judgment. No
Right.
judgment. It's your body. And so yeah, again, it's always there, right? But it always is, right? You're always
Yep.
going to leave this lasting impact on people. Um, you know, even if it's buried in your subconscious, in your unconscious,
Mhm.
there's always going to be this sort of residue.
Mhm.
There's always this, right? It always is.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
um, so, so maybe they're onto something. The name getters, right? Maybe they have insight. Um, but but that was yeah, more of that this week, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah.
hey, happy tattooing, everybody. Happy drawing.
Happy
I'm gonna
tattooing.
I want us to do some quick sign offs, then we'll call it a day. So Amber, would you give us your sign off, please?
Sure. I'm Amber Morgaine, and you can find me on all social media sites under Amber Morgaine and at Luxury Tattoos and Permanent Cosmetics in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
It's fantastic. Thank you again uh, for sharing the work of your shop. Really fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and so
Yeah, they're great guys.
yeah, I'm following them now, so I'll be sure to keep up with their work. But uh, but yeah, keep working hard on it. I think you've got some really great mentors there, and so I
I'm
think
working my
Mhm.
ass off every day.
that's great. They're gonna teach you a lot, and you're very very coachable. So I
Thank
think
you.
that's gonna.
I know a lot of people in my life who would not agree.
They're wrong.
Well, maybe it's always maybe selective. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
in,
yeah, they just
in
don't
your
like my
art,
boundaries.
you seem to have a really great attitude about it, and like a spirit of of inquiry, listening, right? And also being
And
very
learning.
generous. Yeah. So thank you. It was also very cool to see your newest abstract work as well. So
Thank you.
Mm.
yeah. Hey Kyle, give us your sign off.
My name is Kyle Olson. I tattoo out of Tucson, Arizona at Trinity Art Collective. You can get a hold of me on Instagram at Olson, OLSON _tattoos. And I'm more than happy to take on any project.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So loved seeing that piece you're working on, Kyle. It was I can't wait to see it all finished up. Very cool, and also again just sort of sharing the challenge of it. I think that's there's something that I think is really relatable. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like even though that's I'm not doing any, I don't have any pieces on the table right now that are anywhere near as intricate as that one. But to hear you, sort of express like that it's like you're struggling, but of course, we all believe in you. It's going to be fantastic, but you're like, it's going to be tough. I think that was, you know, I relate to that. I thought it was generous of you to share that, and so really
Oh,
thanks, dude, a lot.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's I'm
absolutely.
definitely going to be learning a lot. That's for damn sure. Holy cow! So
That's the spirit. Yeah, and
Hey.
spirit. Let's do your sign off for us.
Hey, what's up, guys? All right. So you can reach me at Tattoos by Spirit on Instagram, Tattoos by Spirit on TikTok, and tattoosbyspirit.com. I've been trying to post more on TikTok lately. You just don't really know what people want sometimes, you know what I mean? But I'm just having fun with it. But I really appreciate you guys' input in my piece today. It really, really helped a lot. And it was kind of one of the things that I was concerned with was being that's one of the reasons I don't like working at home so much because sometimes I'll get stuck, you know, and I'm just like I can't go on anymore until I get into the shop and get into the flow and see the person's skin. So, but today was really helpful. So, yeah, and I'll definitely look up that chapter on perspective
Priority.
priority. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's certainly certainly a really helpful chapter. But yeah, I was yeah, I really admired your piece. I'm really excited about the thumbnail. I love thumbnail sketches. It's always something that it's always something that I would preach about. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do your thumbnails and stuff, and then I wouldn't do them.
All right.
And then I wouldn't do
Yeah.
them. So the fact that I'm doing them now, a few of them, you know what I mean? It's like even if it's only two, even if it's eight, you know what I mean? It always depends.
Mhm.
Um, and so, but just the fact that you do it,
Hey,
it gives you
question
this
about
perspective.
thumbnails.
What's that?
Question about thumbnails.
Hmm.
So I sometimes feel like, let's say if I create 6 thumbnails, they'll all look kind of relatively the same to me. Is that like the idea? I mean, does it? Because and I'm like, well, maybe it should all be different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, this is the form. This is the only way it works in my head. I can't do anything else outside of this. What do you think that is? Is that?
Well, I think there's going to be subtle differences to each one.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so that might very well
Mm,
be, the what you get out of it. I think
okay.
what can be really beautiful is just to sort of say it's almost to think about like, all right, I'm definitely not going to do it this way, so let's try it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just every once in a while. So something that like so again, I'll reference to Guy Aitchison. He likes to keep thumbnails within the jurisdiction of your wrist, right? So just sort of what you can do, just with hand, in the general sort of vicinity of your hand. I think that's very useful for thumbnails. It keeps them small, right? So it really keeps them very small. That's important. And then he says, they start with the most obvious thing first. So again, you gather some references, maybe there's some written stuff, you know what I mean? All that, image and language, it kind of helps you, generate some inspiration. So
Hmm.
you
Okay.
you know you pick the most obvious thing, do that first. But then like doing something different, I think can add contrast because
Hmm.
you did six, they're all the same, but the seventh one is a little different. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm just going to add this. I'm going to go this way rather than that way. And do it one more time.
Hmm.
Um, and so again, I think it ends up, there's not a right way, wrong way, because they're all going to be different. But the fact that you do them lends you this insight into basically the composition. It's really what you're doing. You're composing, you're laying out what it's, so you're going to spend time really laboring over these details, shading and like eyelashes and stuff, right? But it's like if you get done with it and you're like, oh my God, I should have put the thumbnail like, 2 centimeters to the right. You know what I mean? That's like you got this regret that you could avoid. You should regret other stuff. There's other
Yeah.
things to regret. But well, there always be like sort of room for improvement.
Mhm.
But thumbnails can
Hmm.
help you, maybe like maybe really come up with something that is, that you can be proud of too. Give somebody a lot of, you know, well, images really can generate knowledge. They really can.
Mm.
Images can give, they can give people concepts.
Mm.
Kind of how, we think about concepts is, we're thinking about them through images in our mind's eye. So, but anyway, no,
Yeah. No, that's great.
I think the thumbnails are, uh, not something that you could probably ever really grow out of, right? You can always do them in some form. It's gonna be some form that you really start to like, and then it's good to challenge yourself and try something different. So
Hmm.
maybe you're using lines, to sketch things out. Maybe you start, grabbing a big brush and use big shapes.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like, there's all sorts of different ways that you can sort of approach it, and sort of going, working between those might might really be useful. Sort of. So again, I'm glad I started, becoming more disciplined about it. It does. It takes effort and discipline. It's not always like the most fun thing, but
Hmm.
that's that whole adulting shit we were talking about.
That's right.
Being an adult. So,
Mhm.
all right. Well, fantastic. Getting to be with you all again. I'm James Wisdom, and this has been Drawing for Tattooers. Happy drawing, everybody. We're going to